It's funny how a single moment, a single choice, can split your life into two distinct timelines, the before and the after. For me, that moment wasn't a dramatic, movie-like scene. It was a quiet Tuesday morning, staring at a spreadsheet, when a single thought pierced through the hum of the office. Is this it? Before that Tuesday, my life was a neatly organized collection of predictable days. I was Alex, a mid-level marketing analyst. My world was a grid of Excel cells, my soundtrack was the rhythmic tapping of keyboards, and my biggest adventure was choosing a different sandwich for lunch. I had a good job, a stable income, and a future that looked like a straight, well-paved road to a comfortable, if uninspired, retirement. But a creeping sense of emptiness had become my constant companion. Every morning, I'd put on a suit like a costume, playing the part of someone who was content. The reflection in the mirror showed a man I barely recognized, his eyes holding a quiet desperation. That Tuesday, the question, "Is this it?" refused to be ignored. It echoed in my head during a pointless meeting about synergy and deliverables. It was there as I ate my sad desk lunch. It was the only thing I could hear over the city traffic on my way home. That night, I didn't turn on the TV. I pulled out a dusty old globe I'd gotten as a kid. I spun it, and my finger landed on a small, green patch in Southeast Asia, Thailand. The decision wasn't a logical one. It was a rebellion against the suffocating safety of my life. I had savings, not a fortune, but enough. The what if screamed in my mind. What if I fail? What if I run out of money? What if I regret it? But for the first time, a different what if was louder. What if I don't? The next day, I walked into my boss's office and quit. The look on his face was a mixture of shock and pity. He probably thought I was having a breakdown. Maybe I was. But as I walked out of that building for the last time, I didn't feel scared. I felt a profound sense of lightness, as if I had shed a heavy coat I never knew I was wearing. That was the before. The after began with a one-way ticket to Bangkok. The first few weeks were a sensory overload. The humidity, the chaotic symphony of tuk-tuks and street vendors, the intoxicating smells of spices and exhaust fumes. It was overwhelming and utterly exhilarating. I traded my suit for linen pants and my leather shoes for worn-out sandals. I learned to say hello and thank you in a new language. I ate food that set my mouth on fire and watched sunrises from the steps of ancient temples. There was no plan. For the first time in my life, I was living without a safety net. I traveled north to the mountains of Chiang Mai, where I volunteered at an elephant sanctuary. I spent my days feeding and bathing these gentle giants, their ancient eyes holding a wisdom my spreadsheets could never teach me. I learned about their trauma, their resilience, and their capacity for forgiveness. In caring for them, a part of me began to heal. From there, I journeyed to a remote village, accessible only by a long-tail boat. I lived with a local family, sleeping on a thin mat on the floor. We didn't share a language, but we shared meals, laughter, and the quiet beauty of a sky unobscured by city lights. They taught me how to fish, how to cook with ingredients I'd never seen, and how to find joy in simplicity. I, the marketing analyst who once measured success in conversion rates, was now measuring it in shared smiles and the warmth of a home-cooked meal. Of course, it wasn't all idyllic. I got sick. I got lonely. I had moments of crippling doubt where the comfortable predictability of my old life seemed like a lost paradise. I remember one night, in a cheap hostel room, with my money dwindling, thinking I had made the biggest mistake of my life. But then I looked at the photos I had taken. Not just landscapes, but faces. The old woman who sold me noodles every morning, the child who taught me a local game, the fellow traveler who shared his story by a campfire. My life was no longer a spreadsheet. It was a tapestry of human connection. That single decision on a quiet Tuesday morning didn't just change my location. It changed my entire being. It taught me that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. It taught me that security isn't found in a steady paycheck, but in your own resilience. It taught me that the world is vast and beautiful, but the most important discoveries are the ones you make within yourself. I never went back to my old life. I found work teaching English online, just enough to sustain my travels. I've spent the last few years wandering, not as a tourist, but as a student of the world. I've seen the sun set over the Sahara, hiked through the Amazon, and felt the spray of Victoria Falls. Sometimes I think about that other Alex, the one who stayed. He's probably a senior manager by now, with a bigger salary and a nicer car. He's comfortable. He's safe. And I have no doubt he's still asking himself, is this it? I'm glad I had the courage to answer. My life isn't a straight, paved road anymore. It's a winding, unpredictable path with breathtaking views. And I wouldn't have it any other way.